Claudine at St. Clare's by Enid Blyton. Chapter 1. Back to school again. Pat and Isabel O'Sullivan walked into the first form room at St. Clare's and looked around. "Fourth form," said Pat. "Golly, we are getting on, aren't we, Isabel?" "Yes, fourth form seems a long way from the first form," said Isabel. "I say, do you remember when we were the first form, ages ago? We were called the stuck-up twins then, because we hated St. Clare's and didn't want to belong in it." The twins thought back in the days when they had been first formers. They remembered how they had settled down at St. Clare's, their first dislike of it turning into pride and admiration, and now here they were, fourth formers at the beginning of the summer term. "Don't the first formers seem babies now?" said Pat. "We thought we were quite big when we first came, but I see the fourth formers now. They seem to be very young to me." "I shall enjoy being in first form, won't you, Isabel?" "I shall," said Isabel. "I hope we shall stay in St. Clare's until we are at the top form, and I hope our friends do too." "Well, some of them have left already," said Pat. "Pam isn't coming back, nor is Sheila. Lucy Orrell has gone too, to an art school. She was going to stay on here, but she's too brilliant at her art, and she's won a scholarship to the best art school in the country." "Good for Lucy," said Isabel. "We shall miss her though. I wonder if there are any new girls this term." "Sure to be," said Pat. She looked around the big form room. "I say, this is a fine room, isn't it? The nicest classroom we've had so far. There's a wonderful view out the window." So there was. The twins could see miles of beautiful country. It was a country they knew well now, and loved it very much. Down below in the school grounds were the tennis courts, the game fields, and the big swimming pool. The girls could see the school gardens too, the big kitchen garden full of fresh vegetables. "Bags, I sit by the window," said Pat. "Hello, there's Bobby and Janet." Roberta and Janet walked into the classroom grinning. Bobby's freckled face had a very boyish look, and she was very like a boy in her ways, fun and full of tricks. "Hello," she said. "Come to look at our new home? Nice room, isn't it?" "What about our new form mistress?" said Pat. "Miss Ellis. She is supposed to be quite nice, isn't she?" "Oh yes, very calm, unruffled, and dignified," said Bobby. "She'll be all right." "Got any new tricks to play, Janet?" asked Isabel. Janet always had a stock of tricks each term. Most of them came from her schoolboy brother, who seemed to be a real scamp. Janet grinned. "Wait and see," she said. "Anyway, I suppose I'd better be careful now that I'm a fourth former. Can't rag about so much when you get up high this school. And I'm going to work on my final exams too, so I guess I won't have much time for tricks." "I guess you will, all the same," said Pat. "Any new girls, do you know?" "2 or 3, said Bobby. "Hello, Hilary. Had good hauls?" Hilary Wentworth came into the room, dark and smiling. She had been at St. Clare's even longer than the twins. "Hello," she said. "Yes, I had fine holidays. I rode every day, and when I played tennis on a hard court every day too." "I say, who's the angel?" "What do you mean?" asked the twins and Bobby. "Oh, haven't you seen her?" said Hilary. "She's just arrived, complete with posh new trunk, 3 tennis rackets, and a handbag with golden initials on it. What do you bet your cousin Allison will think? She's one of the world's 7 wonders? She's got pale golden hair, bobbed like an angel, and a pointed face like a pixie, and a voice like a princess." "Golly, where is she?" said the others with interest. "Will she be in our form?" "She's down the hall," said Hilary. "She arrived in the biggest scarf I've ever seen, with a crest on the panels and 2 chaffers." "Let's go and see her," said Pat. So the 5 of them went into the corridor and hung over the stair banisters to see the newcomer. She was still there, and it was quite true. She did look a bit like an angel, if an angel could be imagined dressed in a school uniform, carrying 3 beautiful tennis rackets. "She's lovely, isn't she?" said Bobby, who, not being all lovely herself, admired beauty of others. "Yes, I bet Allison will follow her around like a dog." Allison isn't happy unless she's thinking someone is just too wonderful for words. Allison came up at that moment. She was the twins' cousin, a pretty feather-headed thing with not many brains. "Hello," she said. "Did I hear you talking about me?" "Yes," said Hilary. "We were just saying that you'd be sure to like that schoolgirl angel down there. Did you ever see anything like her?" Allison leant over the banisters, and just as the others had guessed, she immediately lost her heart to the new girl. "She looks like a princess from a fairy tale," said Allison. "I'll go around and ask her if she wants to be shown around a bit." Allison sped downstairs. The others grinned at once. "Allison has lost her heart already," said Pat. "Poor old Allison, the wonderful friends she'd made and lost. Do you remember Sadie, the American girl? And how Allison was forever saying, 'Well, Sadie says and so,' and we made a song about her and sang it. Wasn't Allison cross?" "Yes, and when we were in second form, she thought the drama mistress was simply wonderful, and when she was in the third grade, she lost her heart to the head girl and made herself a pretty nuisance to her," said Janet. "Really, the times Allison had lost her heart to people, and they never really think of any for her." "Funny old featherhead," said Pat, looking at her, taking the angel's arm and going off all with her, all over her already. "There's another girl down there too," said Bobby. "She looks rather forlorn. Well, I do think Allison might take her around as well. Hi, Allison." But Allison had disappeared with the golden-haired angel. The twins went down the stairs and spoke to the other girl. "Hello. Are you new here? You better come and see Matron. We'll take you." "What's your name?" said Pat, looking at the new girl, who was trying not to show that she felt new and lost. "Pauline Brigham Jones," said the new girl in a rather affected voice. "Yes, I'd be glad if you'd tell me what to do." "Well, Matron is usually here to see all the new girls," said Hilary, puzzled. "I wonder where she is." "I haven't seen her at all," said Pat. "She wasn't here when we came either." "Funny," said Isabel. "Let's go to her room and find her. We've got to see her anyway." They went to Matron's room, taking Pauline with them. They banged on the door like Matron. They thought they were very much awe of her. She had been St. Clare's for years and years, and some of the girls' mothers, who had also been at St. Clare's, had known her too. The voice called out, "Come in." "That's not Matron's voice," Pat said, puzzled. She opened the door and went in, the others following. A woman in Matron's uniform sat sitting by the window. It wasn't the Matron they knew so well. The girls stared at her in surprise. "Oh," said Pat, "we're looking for Matron." "I am Matron this term," said the new matron. "Your old matron fell ill during the holidays, so I have come up to take her place, and I'm sure we shall get on very well together." The girls stared at her. They didn't feel so sure about that. Their old mistress was fat and round and jolly, the strong and comforting kind of face. This matron was thin and sore-looking. She had very thin lips that met together in a straight line. She smiled at the girls, but her smile stayed at her mouth and did not reach her eyes. "We came to find you," said Bobby. "Usually, Matron meets all the new girls. This one is one of them. She has to give her a list of clothes and towels and things." "I know that, thank you," said Matron, biting off the thread she was using. "Send all the new girls to me, will you? How many have arrived?" The girls didn't know. They thought it was Matron's business to find out, not theirs. They thought of their old matron, bustling around, looking for newcomers, making them welcome, taking them to their forms, or finding girls to take care of them. "Well, this is Pauline Brigham Jones," said Pat at last. "There's another new girl somewhere. We saw her. Our cousin Allison seems to be looking after her." The girls disappeared from the room, leaving Pauline to the new matron. They looked at one another and screwed up their noses. "Don't like her," said Isabel. "Looks like a bottle of vinegar." The others laughed. "I hope our old matron will come back," said Bobby. "St. Clare's will seem funny without her. I wonder where Allison has gone with the angel." Allison appeared at that moment, looking flushed and radiant. It was quite plain that she had made a friend already. With her was the angel. "Oh," said Allison. "Pat, Isabel, Bobby, Hilary, this is the Honorable Angela Flaveley. The Honorable Angela bent her head a little as if she was bowing to her subjects. Bobby grinned. I had a doll called Angela once, she said. She was a bit like you. Well, I hope you like St. Clare's. Allison, take her to Matron. Where is Matron? Said Allison. I've been looking for her. There's a new matron this term. You won't like her, said Bobby. The Honorable Angela Flaveley didn't like Bobby. She gazed at her as if she was something that smelled rather nasty. She turned to Allison and spoke in a pretty high little voice. Well, let's go to Matron. I want to take my things off. They went off together. Hilary laughed. Well, we shall all know where Allison will be most of this term, she said. In the Honorable's pocket.